Hello, my name is Ken Tork. I'm the outreach coordinator for the Ed4Ed organization. Ed4Ed stands for Education for Educators. We are a group of volunteer advocates who are dedicated to raising awareness of the deadly activities that our children are facing every day. Everyone here at Ed4Ed has been affected in one way or another by some of these activities. As most of you know, our society has become one of instant information. With the use of the internet, cell phones, and social networking sites such as Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, we are connected in ways that defy imagination. And we are constantly being faced with challenges and dangers from all directions. As soon as we face one hazard, there seems to be two more just waiting to strike. Today we have the opportunity to learn of a quiet yet deadly hazard that is indiscriminate in nature and global in scale. It's an activity that has taken the lives of young people everywhere at an ever-increasing rate. I personally know all too well the reality of the dangerous activity called the choking game. You see, on March 30th, 2009, I learned firsthand just how deadly this game is when it took the life of my son Kevin at the very young age of 15. I'd like to take a few moments and share with you part of our journey and what we at Ed4Ed are doing to help keep your kids safe.
So it's Kevin's birthday.
Kevin's birthday. No, you're in Disney, Kevin. All the presents are. I'm surrounded by presents.
It's you are surrounded by presents. So happy birthday to you.
No, actually, it's
Happy birthday to you.
Can somebody sing along with me, please?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bob. Happy birthday to you.
We've got help already on the way. Stay on the line with me, okay?
My mother called and she didn't answer it. So I'm running with
Okay, alright, go ahead and get him flat on his back on the floor. I can give you CPR instructions, okay?
Help me, I'm only 11 years old and I'm so scared.
Okay. Do you want to do CPR? I can give you instructions over the phone. I can help you with that. Is there no adults there?
No. Oh my God. My brother, he came finger. I was looking for help. There's a rope around his neck.
Okay, loosen.
I'm going to try to untie it.
Okay.
Very tight.
Okay. Loosen it if you can, okay? Okay. Is there anyone else in the house? Hello? Hello?
Back at 8/11 with startling new information on the so-called choking game. We've told you about it in the past. Someone chokes themselves on purpose to temporarily pass out. New research shows that 30% of kids know someone who has done it.
Has doctors stumped. By most accounts, he shouldn't be here. This was Levi 3 years ago, rushed to the hospital in a coma. His mother found him, blue, cold to the touch, with bruises around his neck.
There was no life signs.
He was dead?
Yes.
Miraculously, Levi's brain didn't die. He came back.
And then they tried to tell me that I tried to commit suicide. I was like, no.
Instead, Levi admitted that he'd been playing the choking game, more aptly named suffocation roulette. Levi and his friends thought it was safe.
His mom is just passing out because it's fainting, because I've never seen anybody faint that didn't get up.
It can be a deadly misconception. Ken Tork's 15-year-old son, Kevin, played the choking game, but lost. His 11-year-old sister found Kevin in his bedroom. It was too late. The CDC just conducted its first large-scale survey in Oregon. 10,000 eighth graders were asked about the choking game, and 36% said they'd heard of it. 1 in 15 said they'd tried it. Because most are reported as suicides, there are no hard numbers of just how many kids the activity claims. But the Centers for Disease Control says that nearly a third of the teens it recently questioned knew someone who had tried the choking game, and nearly 6% had tried it themselves.
Until we finally hit that tipping point where everybody realizes that, this is an epidemic. Every community is going to have to sacrifice a child.
Ken Tork has made it his mission to warn kids and parents of the dangers, and gets plenty of emails thanking him for trying.
Many kids at my school, my friends, admitted to playing this game. If we stop one, just one, then we've made a difference.
Both he and Levi's mom now travel the country, talking to anyone who will listen. But they say there are two big reasons that some parents are reluctant to address the choking game.
Not my kids, they know better. 2, if we tell them about it, then they'll do it. Neither are true.
So how do you combat this then?
Education.
And that is their mission, to teach the lessons learned from one who lost and another who got a second chance, playing a game where there are no winners. For today, Lee Cowan, NBC News, Wichita.
Awareness is growing, and no one has fought harder against the choking game than NBC's Today Show. But other media outlets have also featured this deadly activity. It has been shown on Oprah, Dr. Phil, Dateline, Inside Edition, and this very powerful story on Dr. Oz.
As a parent or grandparent, you probably haven't heard of it, and chances are neither has your doctor. It's a game your child could be playing under your roof right now, without your knowledge, and it's deadly. It goes by many exotic names: Rush, Purple Dragon, Space Monkey, Funky Chicken, Cloud 9. But it's best known as the choking game. Is your child playing? Take a look.
Your child does well in school, sports. He doesn't drink or do drugs. He's happy. Then one day, you find your child dead in his room, a makeshift noose around his neck. The initial autopsy report, suicide, but that doesn't make sense. And then, as the shock fades, you begin to remember. The knotted scarves and ties in your child's room, a belt hanging from the doorknob. Maybe your child complained of headaches, his eyes bloodshot. These can all be the signs of a deadly adolescent practice known as the choking game, which can be played alone or with other kids. The point is to suffocate on purpose. By tying a noose or placing hands around the neck, blood flow is blocked to the brain. After a few seconds, the child feels momentarily lightheaded. When the neck is released, blood floods the brain, creating a sense of euphoria, a natural, legal high. Except this feeling is actually the brain dying. And so are our kids. The CDC reported 2 years ago that at least 82 children have died since 1995 as a result of playing the choking game. But some estimates put the number as high as 1,000 every year. And the danger may be spreading virally over the internet. One study found 65 videos of the choking game posted in just an 11-day period.
There have not been many studies done on the choking game, but one of the most accurate and informative so far was conducted by Dr. Thomas Andrews, the Chief Medical Examiner for the state of New Hampshire.
Doctor, I know as a forensic doctor, you obviously have been involved in some fatalities, examining those cases, as well as other cases around the country. This boy, Kevin, he was 15, but you see it in much younger kids as well, don't you?
Well, the typical age range is between about 9 and 16 or so. So yes, we see them as early as 9 and 10 years old.
Dr. Andrews noticed an unusually high number of teenage deaths due to self-asphyxiation among teenagers and adolescents, and he realized that this needed further study. So in 2007, he collaborated with Dr. Andrew McNabb, a professor of pediatrics at the University of British Columbia. Together they launched the first scientific study about the choking game. Their goal was to learn the reasons why kids do it and also to establish avenues of prevention. Their study involved a school-based questionnaire of 8th to 12th graders in high schools and middle schools in Ontario and Texas. I'd like to share with you the results of that study. Right off the bat, we can see that this is not new to these kids. 68% admitted that they had heard of the choking game. Almost half stated they knew someone who had tried it. And this last statistic is very important. because it coincides almost directly with the CDC study. 6.6% admitted that they had tried it. But as bad as this is, it's not the worst part. 40%, that's 920 kids, perceived no risk. Did not see anything wrong with it. This was one of the most alarming facts that they had discovered. And it's also a key element in why our smart, amazing children would even consider doing something like this. They do not perceive it as dangerous, and no one is telling them otherwise. This is where we come in, all of us. But their study also uncovered some very positive and informative information as well. 90% of the students surveyed stated that with the proper information beforehand about disability, brain damage, and death, that it would strongly deter them from participating in this activity. And if they had been participating in this activity, it would strongly deter them from continuing. They also discovered that the number one deterrent is hearing from the friends and families of the victims themselves. Well, that's the conclusion of our journey today, and I'd like to thank you for sharing it with us. I can't describe the pain of losing a child, especially your only son. We at Ed4Ed are dedicated to keeping your kids safe, and we can only do that with your help by sharing knowledge. Education is our strongest tool and our most effective weapon. As you go forward from here today, please do not assume that people that you know are safe. This is happening everywhere, every day. But with your help, we can stop it. We will overcome. Thank you.
My dad got us 2 4-wheelers last October. He got one just for me. We were gonna go camping in the mountains this summer.